Assalamu alaikum, ladies and gentlemen. Today we've got two very special guests with us here today. So I'm going to introduce Abbas Uncle first. I call him Abbas Uncle, also known as Abbas Panjvani. He's been part of Hyderi's development of sports. He's been part of the managing and executive committees. I want to ask you a quick question before we go on to our next guest. Our community, Hyderi, fantastic community, great community. Is this better than it's been before?
Of course. I mean, Hyderi, we bought Hyderi in 19 October 83, and every year we've seen a progression. This is a community to be living in and working for, definitely.
Thanks, Saif. Thanks, Abbas Uncle, for that. And I'm here with my esteemed guest as well, Mahmood Khan, who I also call Gaffer from our days of HFC when he was our manager. He's also been the only unbeaten manager in a season. We won the league with him. And this was about maybe 10 years ago, but you know, he's well in there in Hyderi's history as one of our champions. Someone with a lot of football knowledge. He also was managing the youth for a very long time, and he's one of the only people, actually only two people, who have actually done a clean sweep at MAMT. So has a lot of knowledge, and you know, he's always been there as a backbone member of the community, looking after our youth and always giving back in sports and helping us progress in sports. So Mahmood, welcome. The question I wanted to ask you is, with this tournament that we are having, how do we take the next step as Hyderi in terms of using this tournament to propel us into bigger things? You know, this is the first time Hyderi have done a football tournament, even though, you know, we've played in so many, won a lot, lost a lot, but this is the first time we've actually taken a stance and promoting our own. So how do we, you know, take a step forward from here, and what are the actions that we could take?
Well, to be honest with you, with the coming of COVID, everything came to a standstill worldwide, not only for Hyderi. And even though we've entered a lot of tournaments, this is a massive step for us because it's something that we're hosting and we're doing. And when you start with something smaller, I think if you remember back before I became the manager for Hyderi 11-a-side, HFC, you guys used to just get together on a Sunday to try and play a bit of football. It was just a bit of fun. It then developed into something more serious. We took it a lot more seriously, and then you created a structure, team managers, vice captains, etc. We started training, we got formation going, and the next thing we knew, we were playing in the Croydon League, and we were beating teams, and we were winning every single game, and we actually won the league unbeaten, which was a massive achievement. And I think a lot of kids developed from there. You yourself developed from there. I moved you from you thinking you were a forward to a right back, and I think that was a good move, and that shows my football knowledge because you've never moved from that position. But you took the position well. But going back to you know, what I was saying is that it started off with a kickabout, and we ended up winning the league, and everyone got a trophy, and our name was in the newspaper every week. The Croydon Advertiser. I remember seeing things like Wowgy scores to keep the Hyderi's winning run going. They weren't talking about you, by the way. It was your cousin Hamza. And you know, Doogie scores to win the league. I think we all joke about it nowadays. We say Doogie's ball because he shouted that for about a minute before he headed it in the back of the net in that last game. But we ended up winning the league because we just started a kickabout. You guys have started something, and it may be 6 teams or 12 teams or 15 teams. Today, you can develop it into something a lot more. And then in the future, inshallah, also include the youths, also include walking football. I hope people come to view the tournament and watch it, because there's nothing like a crowd, you know, watching and screaming and shouting and cheering their team. All within respect, obviously. You know, we're not football hooligans. Well, some of us aren't, but I won't comment about myself. But at the end of the day, this is what you want, and it brings great community spirit because, look, there'll be rivalry on the pitch, but we're all brothers at the end of the day. We congratulate each other, we shake hands, and we win with dignity, we lose with dignity. But you've started something. I think it's brilliant because generally as a community, not only us, I think all communities need it at the moment. Unfortunately, MAMT used to be in August, and now that's time for Muharram, so that's not going to happen for a little while. So this could be something really, really big, and you could have started something really, really massive.
So I've got a question for you now. So he's obviously touched on the points that this is kind of a post-COVID era kind of style tournament, and we're moving to a different kind of thing with obviously MAMP not being able to be played because of Muharram. We're moving on to something different. And sports has been a very integral part of our community, and you've also been involved in sports a lot. So I want to ask you the question, Why is sports so important for our community, and how does it help our community to develop?
Sports obviously is a great leveler. It brings the community and everyone a lot closer together. And what better way of doing it? Obviously this is HFC Revival Tournament, and I'm sure it's going to be a very, very big success.
So just leading on to that, so obviously we're hoping this tournament and everything's going to be a success. In your experience of growing up with this community and seeing how we've actually just moved to a new community centre and everything because of how fast we're growing as a community, how has sports managed to kind of keep the community together and kind of keep the heart of the community pumping?
Obviously sports, if you introduce sports into the community, that will bring the youngsters in, because that's something that we missed not only during COVID, but even pre-COVID times. A lot of the elderly people came, but not many of the youngsters. But now with sports, you're seeing more and more sort of new faces, a lot of youngsters coming in. So hopefully that should progress.
Yeah, and I'd like to touch on that just as my experience as a youth of this community. We've actually reached out to other communities. There's a lot of kids that I wouldn't have met growing up that I have met thank you to sports, and it's just a fantastic thing that we've got going on.
From this tournament, touching upon what Saif said, we have started this tournament. We've invited a lot of teams down. We're trying to grow. We're trying to make Hyderi football bigger. You know, we've been so successful. I think we're one of the most successful Jamaats in terms of football, at least. We've won so many tournaments over the years. What do you think would be necessary for the steps for us to take now in order for us to not only grow the game itself, but to grow Hyderi's name, not only within our culture communities, but also in our outside communities? What are the things that we need to do? How should we integrate the youth to get more involved? And what do tournaments like this, what does it do for that? How does it bring us forward?
I now work quite heavily in football, and one of the things that we kind of did, many years ago, was we kind of stayed in a bubble, and we wouldn't play against teams from outside, and we didn't want to mix with anyone. We were very into ourselves, and in one way that was fear, and to be honest with you, it actually didn't allow a lot of our youth at that time to go forward and get better at what they were doing. And I do believe there are people in our community who may have made certain levels in football where we would have been very proud of them had we had the right infrastructure. One of the things I'd say is get kids involved, make sure they enjoy it. One of the things about football is if you don't enjoy playing football and you're doing it because you're under pressure, if you get aggressive on the pitch, these are all the wrong things. The right thing in football is you must enjoy it. So to make a tournament enjoyable, look, there will be some people who will come there who seriously want to win. There'll be some people who want to come just to take part. They're all important. Everybody has the right to be part of this. With regards to going forward, I hope in the future you can call some local teams, be from other communities. One of the biggest advantages, they'll see us as a community and our mannerism, yes, the way we behave, the way we interact. That will make you what I consider and I call frontline Muslims, because you will now interact with another community, another society. They will see how well you react, and that you are normal. You are not these crazy nutty guys who run around trying to kill everyone with a machine gun. They'll see these guys are just like us. They play football, they take it seriously, but look at their mannerism, the way they've welcomed us, they've given us food, they've treated us nicely, and it'll only expand the popularity of our community among our neighbors. And as you grow, obviously, look, there isn't an Asian footballer, and the football associations are looking for Asians who are progressing in this field. We have got enough people within our community to have really large tournaments. Even 11 aside, we can arrange big things, and we've got good backing with our community. We're a strong community, alhamdulillah, from World Federation, COEG, etc. And at the end of the day, I can see this tournament, maybe not now, and people may say I'm over-ambitious, but if you're not over-ambitious, you never get to your end. But I can see this tournament being like a massive tournament where we actually have a football stadium. We've had Millwall before, where we will have it in a football stadium, 3 pitches, tournament going on, parents there, adults there, Molanas there, whoever, everyone's there, the whole community, and we've got a whole stadium to ourselves. And I reckon you'll achieve that in 2 or 3 years, inshallah.
So one final question before we conclude this is, football in sports in general actually brings around healthy rivalries, and I think a lot of us from Hyderi, we've got the South London North London rivalry going on. We've also got Leicester over 35s, which actually have a lot of accolades, who are coming into this tournament with all their accolades, to be honest, and they're going to be trying to take the trophy, quite a big trophy as well. It's a nice one to take home. But I want to ask you a question about healthy rivalries amongst the different communities, like intra-rivalries that we've got. We've even got rivalries within our own community as well. And in fact, just to make this a little bit healthier in terms of rivalry, we've actually got 2 Liverpool fans and 2 United fans on the panel. But
a little bit spicy.
if we go into that, we'll be here all evening. I mean, we all know it's Liverpool, but carry on. So yeah, sorry, about the rivalry, I lost my train of thought. But about the rivalries, I just want to ask you how it's a healthy way for our communities to grow.
Oh, obviously, rivalry is a good thing because it enables teams to progress. If there was no rivalry, everyone would be the same. It would be like sort of communist states. So no, you need a rivalry. And what better rivalry than United Liverpool?
Sure.
I mean, yeah.
Sorry. I wouldn't consider that a rivalry anymore because there's a bigger team in Manchester.
No. Manchester is always red. I mean,
Always red.
will always be red. And with Ten Hag, give us a couple of years and we'll be there. As Fergie said, well, I don't want to sort of use a 4-letter word, but you've got to knock these guys off of their perch, and I'm sure we can do that. And by the way, we're still one league, one Premiership or Championship, Premier League ahead of you guys anyway. So, yeah.
Yeah, we all know the Champions League is the biggest trophy in the world.
Mams, any words on that, just to summarize?
Well, firstly, look, all teams have rivalry. If you don't have competition in sports, and you're not going to take it serious, and you don't really want to win, then you're not really playing the sport with your heart. So you got to have rivalry, but you've got to also have respect. The FA have got a massive campaign about respect, and that includes respecting other players, not being abusive or prejudiced because of their colour, their race, or anything like that. We're in a bigger world, a better world now, and we need to understand that everybody deserves respect. But be rivals and give your all on the pitch, do everything that you can, and have fun at the end of the day, and hopefully the best team wins. Doesn't always happen. Man City last year, I don't think they were the best team. But anyway, it was heartbreaking, to be honest with you. 2-0. I thought it was happening, Coutinho, but sometimes it's just not written. But and yeah, they are. I think your 13 Premier Leagues are under threat. I think they're going to win the next 7 or 8. But at the end of the day, they're not going to catch us on Champions Leagues. I don't think both Manchester teams could catch us on the Champions League at the moment. We're on a different world. And it looks like no one wants to sign for you at the moment because I think Nunes came to us even though we were giving him less money.
No. United, the last thing we need at the moment is a forward. We've got Ronaldo. Don't worry, we're safe with Ronaldo. We need midfielders. And as my friend George says, the table never lies. So, I mean, the best team...
Abbas, do you know, when I was young, right... when I was young, Crystal Palace used to sign all of Chelsea's old players, so they used to call them Chelsea Pensioners Football Club. Ronaldo's 30, I know he's a great athlete, and all due respect to him, but firstly, if you don't get anywhere this season, he's going. And if you do, he's still going to be really old. And to be honest with you, it is a dire shame. The guy's going to be playing in the Europa Conference League. That's like Liverpool or Man United playing, I don't know, Burton United.
No, it's not. It's the Europa League.
But you'll come third and go into the Conference League. That's a guarantee. That's already a guarantee. At the end of the day, come on. Was it Brighton beat you 4-0 or I don't know? Not every week. Not every week, but anyway.
Speaking on that, Ronaldo did get 18 goals this season at 37, so I still think he's got some gas left in the tank, and I'm sure we'll be back. But we could talk about United and Liverpool all day long, as we do anyway. Every day.
I've got to say something. If you look at our banter group, right, when Mourinho came in, Rolex was like, the banter group that I got rid of, but I'm going to reinstate it because I got emotional. I got pepper sprayed, and these guys were calling me a scummy scouser. But anyway, at the end of the day, about 7 years ago, Rolex was, we got Mourinho, this, that, the other, we're going to this, that, the other, and here we go. Then it was, legend, Solskjaer, this, that, the other. Then at the beginning of the season, he turned around and actually said to me, Rangnick taught Klopp and Pep Guardiola how to do the press. The only thing that guy taught anyone to press was an iron on an ironing board. The guy was an absolute disaster. But that's Rolex, so if he says to you, we'll be back in 2 years, expect him to be in 10th place.
stand by my words. I stand by my words. Well, I guess thank you guys for that. That was very enlightening. We really appreciate your time. We really appreciate your advice. And always, we appreciate all the work that you guys have done for Hyderi over the years. And only if we can, be more like you guys when we are your age, that would be a very good thing for the community.
Thank you very much for watching. So we've spoken about the respect, we've spoken about the competitiveness, and we'd love to see all of that in the tournament. Just make sure you guys keep it healthy. Thank you very much. And next, we're going to move it on to HFC's chairman, Hyderi Football Club's chairman, Qasim Walji, who's going to introduce you to the draw.
Thank you, Saif. We'll now head over to Abbas Panjwani and Mahmood Khan for the live draw.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is not fantasy football, this is real football. This is all about big ears, something that I've missed since 1999.
When you say big ears, you mean the FA Cup?
No.
You sure?
Not the FA Cup, man.
You mean the Champions League?
We'll get there, don't worry.
Okay,
Sooner or
we
later,
miss it 20 years.
We'll be there.
We miss it 20 years less than you.
We'll be there.
Anyway, we have Team A here with the white balls, and Group B will be the orange balls. I didn't mean Team A, I meant Group A. Group A will be the white balls, and Group B will be the orange balls. Abbas, can you proceed, please?
Ball number 10.
So there will be team number 5 in Group A.
Ball number 10, that's JYFC A.
Ball number 9.
And they will be team number 2 in Group B.
Ball number 9, that's pre-tournament favourites, Just Eat FC.
Ball number 5.
And they will be team number 4 in Group A.
Ball number 5, that's Manchester United.
Ball number 4.
And they will be team number 5 in Group B.
Ball number 4, Leicester.
Ball number 6.
And they will be team number 1 in Group A.
That's Essex Regiment.
Ball number 12.
And there will be team number 6 in Group B.
Ball 12, that's JYFC B.
Ball number 2.
And there will be team number 3 in Group A.
Ball number 2, another of the pre-tournament favourites, that's False Prophets.
Ball number 1, numero uno.
And that will be team number 1 in Group B.
Ball 1, that's Sharia Baller FC.
Ball number 3.
And that will be team number 2 in Group A.
That's Monstars FC.
Ball number 7.
And that will be team number 3 in Group B.
Ball 7, that's the Underdogs.
Ball number 11.
And that will be team number 6 in Group A.
Ball 11, that's Al Noor.
And last but not least, ball number 8.
And that will be team number 4 in Group B.
Ball 8, that's MNF.
And that concludes the draw.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.
I'd now like to hand over to Mahmood Khan and Abbas Panjwani for the over 34 draw.
Good evening, everyone. Let's put some respect on the over 34s. We should call it the Legends draw. So I will now start. First team out is team number 6.
And position number 6.
Oh,
That's George's
66.
best.
Next team out is team number 5.
Position number 5.
That's Delji's Chaiwalas.
If this is 4, I'm going to cry. It's team number 1.
Team number 2. Position number 2.
That's Stanmore A.
It's team number 4.
Position number 4.
That's Haji Heroes.
Are you copying me?
Near enough.
Team number 2.
Position number 1.
That's Stanmore B.
And last but not least, team number 3.
And you got it, folks? Position number 3.
That's Husseini All-Stars, current champions.
There we are. That concludes the draw for the legends. Thank you for watching this evening.
Thanks very much.